Hello, everyone. Welcome back to XRCC 3.0 tutorial. Today we are going to talk about multiple conditional events. In this tutorial, we will use the branched block to construct a nested if flow. We want to change the color of a cube every time we click the cube. First, we'll set the initial color of the object to red. When the cube is clicked, it will change to yellow. On the second click, it will turn green. After that, it will cycle back to red on the next click, creating a loop of colors. So, before we get started working on the flow construction, I will first explain what we are trying to do later by using this table. First, we will set the initial color of the cube to be red, and create a number variable called number of click and set it to be 0. Then, we will create a nested if function by connecting the branch number 2 to the true output of the branch number 1. So when we first click the cube, the value of the NOC variable is 0. It will pass through both branch blocks. Then we set NOC to be 1 and the cube to be yellow. At our second click, the value of NOC variable is 1 now. It will pass through the branch number 1 and return false at branch number 2. Therefore, we set NOC to be 2 and the cube to be green here. At the third click on the cube, the value of the NOC is 2 now. It will return false at the branch number 1. Then we set NOC back to 0 and the cube to be red in this false branch. Let's start by setting the properties of the cube. Place the cube at a suitable position, set it to be interactable, and change the initial color of the cube to red. Now go to the behavior panel. We first drag out the click block as we click on the cube to activate the function. Create a number variable called number of clicks and set to be 0 as we have mentioned earlier. Now we can construct our nested if function. For the branch number 1, we set the condition is to determine whether NOC is smaller than or equal to 1. And for the branch number 2, which is linked to the true output of branch number 1, we simply duplicate the condition blocks and change it to determining whether NOC is smaller than 1. Now, we're using the call action blocks we have learned before to create a function that changed the cube into yellow. Now we can go to the behavior panel of this newly created action. By using the set material color block and the color block in the library, we can now change the cube into yellow by calling this action. And we can copy this bunch of blocks for later use. Go back to the main behavior panel. For the last step at this branch, we need to set NOC to 1 and wait for the second click. Now we're going to tackle the false output of the branch number 2. Here we're going to change the cube into green. With similar flow, we can just duplicate the call action block and the set number block. Replace the turn yellow action by creating a new turn green action. Also, we set NOC to be 2 here. Now we're going to tackle the false output of the branch number 1. Here we're going to teach the cube turn from green back to red in this branch. Simply just create and call a new action to turn the cube back to red, and then set NOC back to 0.
We are all set now.
Save the project and enter the debug mode now. That's how you can use the branch behavior blocks to create a nested if function, which create a color changing effect on an object in your XRCC 3.0 project. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.